And here we are. I am with my friend, an absolute inspiration, the gorgeous, the delicious, the incredibly sassy Melinder Fisher, or Midja, which I love.
Hello, Delany. Hello,
everyone. And you are on the Gold Coast, is that correct?
I am a bit of a beach girl, so this is where I call home.
It's a beautiful, beautiful part of the world for sure. So just to fill people in, we came to know each other through you being one of the people. You were there at the beginning with the Shine National Training Centre, weren't you?
Yes. So I started with Shine in 1997, so a long time ago.
A long time ago. And for people who are watching who are not from Australia, or even who are and don't know, Shine is like one of the biggest defence law companies in Australia, isn't it?
Well, it's plaintiff law. So we're on the other side.
Plaintiff.
We are sticking up for the little guys. Yes.
See, that's why I said that to me was defence. You can tell I'm not a lawyer. Okay,
Delany,
so
if you're talking about criminal law, it certainly is. It just swaps.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got it now. So, well, tell us a little bit about that, because that's a pretty amazing background. Law, you were a partner. Then you started this amazing, that training centre, when that began, that was really, really amazing, really amazing. I'm not saying it's not now, but, very different. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so certainly for me, it was an absolute dream job. And that's why I stayed at Shine nearly 20 years. Which people kind of don't do much anymore, staying with one firm for that long, but it just felt like home, and it felt like a second family. And the work that we did out at, it was a purpose-built training facility. And it was, for a law firm to do that in Australia, it really was the only law firm that built something like that. I think at the time that it was built, there was 200 or 300 staff.
Wow.
So it was a huge investment, 40-acre property, purpose-built training facility, chefs, housekeepers. You could sleep 20 people. We ran week-long courses out there for all of our staff, and it didn't matter. It wasn't for leaders. It wasn't for senior partners. It was for absolutely everyone that came into the organisation. And people used to joke that we were a personal development firm or a personal development organisation that just happened to do law. And I kind of agreed with that. And that and who I am and what I believe in just struck a chord. It was just like, for an organisation to invest this much in their people, I'm in. And I want to be involved in that, and I absolutely want to be a part of it. And even now, when I run into people or people email me or Facebook message me or whatever, and they just say what a difference their time at Tiddalack, what it did for them and the impact it's had on them moving forward. And so that was super cool to be a part of. And that experience, I guess, is what motivates me to do what I do now. And I joke around, my mission statement is to make everyone in corporate feel like I felt on a Monday morning. Bottom line, that's it. If I can do that, I am absolutely happy. Because my children used to joke with me on a Sunday afternoon, because I used to be like a cat on a hot tin roof. Woo! On a Sunday afternoon by about 2:00, I'd be so excited. And the kids would be like, you can't wait to get to work, can you, Mum? Like, you just can't wait. I'm like, I can't wait. It is going to be, I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait for that 5 o'clock alarm. And I know I was absolutely blessed to have that kind of experience, and that people working in corporate, the majority don't. They wake up to the alarm on a Monday morning and it's absolutely the most terrifying noise. And they wait till Friday till their life begins again. And I'm just like, oh my God, life's too short. And I'm finding that the creatives and the innovators and the idealists and all of those people are leaving corporate when exactly that's what corporate needs.
Exactly.
And so getting them and finding them the space and getting them the leadership that they need in order for them to stay is kind of what I'm about.
And that is just so brilliant, because you are correct. It's not just in one area that we need people who are creative, who are innovative, and who are willing to look at things from question and possibility rather than this is the way we do it, this is the way we've always done it. It's not working, people. In any area, it's not working. It's pretty obvious, you know. And we need to have those people everywhere. So something I really, because you know me, I like to keep it real. I like to keep it raw. And so something we were talking about beforehand, because that's a huge transition, a major transition, to go from working for a company to have that machine behind you and around you, to have the energy pouring into you from that, and then to go out on your own and go, it's time, and to jump. Just talk a little bit about how you got to that, because you know you've got kids, you've got family, blah 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 blah. What gave you the courage to jump?
So absolutely. And I talk about this space of exhilaration and being absolutely terrified. And I think it's a great space to play in. And I kind of think it's a magic space. And until you kind of get to that space, I don't know, life's just kind of, it's coasting along. And for me, I did a lot of coasting along, and I kind of think, and I don't beat myself up about that, because I kind of feel for all of us, there's some time in our lives when we kind of need some of that stability, if you like, or just, I don't know, that kind of energy. And then I think you kind of feel when it's right. Some people need a bit more of a push, but you feel when it's right to step out of that. And I kind of felt that, and kind of, I suppose, for two reasons. And I write about this in the introduction to the book around the kind of what happened to me. And so 1997, going way back, two of the most important relationships in my life started. So one was with the man that I would marry and would become my husband. And the second was with a law firm that would become my second family. And then if you fast forward to 2016, both of those came crashing down. Mm-hmm. And so the marriage was over, and my now ex-husband decided to move out, and is now remarried and doing his thing. And the relationship with the law firm broke down as well, and they were taking a different direction. And I had to stay with who I am and my beliefs. And so for me, it was just a time where I thought it's kind of now or never. And I talk about fear a lot. I talk about fear, and I suppose positive fear, and using that. So, oh my goodness, I am scared and petrified and all of that stuff all the time. I have these moments of, what the hell are you doing? And who do you think you are, Midge? And all of that self-talk that I talk to my clients about, I have it as well, because I'm absolutely human, yeah? But the greatest fear, the absolute fear that keeps me up at night, is leaving this planet without doing what I feel I'm meant to do. And that, oh my God, it terrifies me to think that, that I look back when I'm at some age or at some point in my life and go, yeah, you could have done that. You could have done that, Midge. Yeah. There was just, yeah. And so I don't ever want that. And, even for me now, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing, and I'm still trying to figure out this business and make it and make a business so I can support my children and all of that. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I got to give it a shot, yeah? I absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And so I talk to people about their niggle and what is the niggle inside of you. And for me, that niggle just became louder and louder and was kind of slapping me in the face a bit. And so I listened to that, and I think, yeah, some people's niggles are like buried kind of right deep down through a whole lot of reasons, and some niggles are like screaming at you and right at the surface. And yeah, but most people I speak to, there's something in their lives, or something that they get this little sparkle about themselves when they talk about it. They kind of get this, I'm not sure if I could. They get that. And yeah, I don't know. It's about following that, I think.
Totally. For me, like I get the fear, and I mean, it was years and years and years ago, the very first time that I heard about anything that that's going to give you that fear. What if it's not fear? What if it's excitement? What if that is actually an energy of being so alive and doing what you came here to actually do, or create, or be, or whatever that is? And it doesn't have to be a big public thing. Mm-mm. Some of us don't desire that. Some of us don't require that, but some of us do. And so for me, one of the things that I've always found useful is remembering that a lot of that is excitement. And yes, I do get nervous about things. It's not that there isn't that, but for me, using that energy, and stopping thinking that comfortable is what the target is. And kind of, if anything, getting comfortable with uncomfortable is really, really useful, And I was talking with Sarah Watt on the show a few days ago, and like she spoke about that. For her now, she knows that when things are really uncomfortable, just on the other side of that is something, something else opens up, some awareness, or something that you've been dreaming of creating, those doors open, or whatever it is. Like, if we're constrained by all of that, then that's what stops us. And that's what allowed you to keep moving, was that knowing that there was more, and being willing to not have the comfort of mediocrity of living.
Yeah. And I think it's, now I am always uncomfortable. It's kind of just as my new state of being. And and so I certainly sit with that. And I also am I'm trying to use a lot of just lightness around things as well. And I use that word lightness a lot when I'm talking in corporate as well, because I feel like just going like, why so serious, people? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And I understand some people in corporate are doing very serious work. I get that, you know, it's serious work. But, you know, when it comes to ourselves and that playfulness, and always, you know, the message that is all the Delany message that's always in my head is, you know, what else is possible? And I ask myself that daily and think of you. I've got your little face in my mind, and you know, what else is possible, Midge? And I know you gave me that magnet. And I have it up in my office, and I just keep it up. It's such a great, and I use it a lot with clients as well. And yeah, so feeling that, and I think for a long time, I was certainly coasting, or I was looking for just other things in my life just to kind of fill that up. You know, so it was like, okay, what's the next thing? And let's just fill it up with this and fill it up with that. And even, you know, personally, I think for a long time I was like, oh, you know, I need a man and I need to date and I need to do that and all of that. And I've kind of let all that go. And I'm kind of like, no, actually, no. You know, let that all kind of go and see what comes of that. And pursue the purpose, pursue what you're meant to do. And you don't have to, all the have-tos, you don't have to fill my life with all this other stuff to kind of to get rid of the sense of just being mediocre and just kind of coasting. Because when you're coasting, I think you have to fill your life up with stuff.
Yeah.
To get this kind of excitement feeling. I don't need any more excitement feeling, Delany. I've got it. I've absolutely got it.
Oh, I love it. And, you know, like something there, like you're talking about lightness, you know, lightness for me this year, or this past year, well, for quite a while, but this year particularly, my thing has been about ease. And that includes lightness, you know, because it's so easy that we have been like railroaded in that everything has to be hard, you know, that work is hard, and I'm with you, you know, like there is stuff that's you're not giggling, but that doesn't mean that you can't have and be that space inside that is still a lightness, that still has that sense of peace about it. And when you talk about that, like it just brings me to that connection with our bodies and what that can contribute, you know, to showing us what is or what are the things that light us up. Because we so often negate the body. It's something to be judged. It's something to be worked out, rather than created with. You know, because I love what you said. You know, like you don't want to get to a place down the track going, oh shit, because this is not a pre-run. This is embodiment. Like whatever happens after, none of us really know. We can say we know, we've read this, or we believe that, but this is it. This is, and this journey and this having this body is amazing, and it's a gift. Yeah. And every single one of us is a gift. And some of the people that I've met here, that they're not out there to actually change the world on a big stage, but what they contribute to people daily in how they interact is such an incredible contribution. Yes. You know, the kindness and the willingness to contribute to you, not just for the money that you are paying. It goes beyond that. People are actually doing things just because they're lovely people. Yeah. And that is as valuable as anything else. But it is that thing of knowing what is it that you really desire. Because so many of us haven't even looked at that of, oh, I would love this. That is a dream for somebody else that's somewhere in the future.
Yeah.
And so to get what it is that we would really like, we have to be prepared to do the actions as well as, you know, be that energy, be that enthusiasm and all of, you know, all of that side of things. Because those people, those Balinese people I'm talking about, they're willing to live in family compounds and make everything about their families. And that gives them this particular energy of what they like to do and what they, and their creative pursuits and stuff.
Yes.
That's not the life I want. So I'm not going to be doing those things. I'm not prepared to do that, but I'm prepared to do things that they're not. So what is it like to go? And we started to go there with that coming from when you are working with a company, or, you know, or even this is for if you want to change your life and you're surrounded by family that are telling you not to. Like, what's required? What are you finding the challenges about being, and what tools do you use, as well as what else is possible? And that is a phenomenal tool. So what is it? Tell us.
I think there is that struggle, I think, of coming, particularly I was surrounded by a big machine, so a big corporate machine, and I was held up and supported and revered and had people doing stuff for me and whatever. And then you go where absolutely nobody knows your name. And I often sing the Cheers song from Cheers, the sitcom, you know, because it's nice to go where everybody knows your name and everyone's glad you came. And that was me. I walked into a room, people said, Midja! I was like, hey! And people loved me, and they knew what I did, and they knew what I was good at, and I was valued. And then you step out of that and no one knows your name and no one particularly cares. And so you are building something, and often, like, I get this like Midja, I get this like screwed up nose, and is that a real name? And I even fought that, Delany. So the first video blog I did, a friend was there when I videotaped it, and I said Melinder Fisher, and she said, oh no, she said, you're Midja. And I went, I know, but I'm corporate and people will think I'm stupid if I say Midja, and I think, what's a Midja? And she's like, can you just let go of all that? Because that's who you are, and you absolutely just do that. And it's for me, it's taken experience to do that. So I've actually had to get out. I've had to work with different corporate clients and different clients. And each time I do that, I go, oh, they liked me. And then the next gig I do, they go, oh, they liked me. And so I think part of it is experience. Part of it is having the willingness to put yourself out there. And some of that, you know, affirmation that kind of comes from that. I was, I think particularly in Australia, you know, people talk about the tall poppy syndrome. And for me, building a business on my name, and that's it. The business is just my name. My website is midja.com.au. My videos are Mondays with Midja. The books have my big face on them. My videos are about me. Like it's all about me, basically, in service to other people, but using me personally as a vehicle to be of service to other people. And yes, terrifying. You know, and I know people, they hide behind names, and people said that to me, I'll have like a leadership development name, or have this, or, you know, be the founder of a particular company. And I'm like, you know what, this business is me. And it is my brand, and you know, I'm not hiding with a whole group of other people, and I'm not hiding behind a Training Inc. name or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I have just, I suppose, taken a deep breath and just done it. And I know a lot of people in the space have said to me, oh, I can't believe you just put these videos out every week. How did you start that? And I said, I just did it. I did the first one and I plonked it on social media. And I went, who cares? Who cares? Okay,
Yeah.
either some people are going to like it, some people are not. That's my message. I believe I can be of value with my messages, so I'm just going to do that. And then I started hosting dinners, and people are like, oh, my God, what about if no one comes? And I'm like, well, I'm eating dinner by myself. I at least have one friend that will come to the dinner. So you know what? I'm just going to put these dinners on. I'm going to put them out there, invite people to them, reach out to people, and you know what? See what happens. And so it is about, obviously, that self-belief, that really connecting, I think, with who you are. And I think I've done a lot of work on that. So I absolutely know who I am. I absolutely know my magic and the difference I make and my value. And so then you can put yourself out there without fear of, I don't know, without fear of judgment or without fear of anything else, because I actually don't care. And in my business, it's not selling. So it's just being of service to other people. That's what I do. And yes, people pay a price for that. And I put a dollar figure on that. But it's not, it's just me being of service to other people, doing exactly what I know I should be doing, and knowing the difference I can make.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. And the more of us that get that being you is actually enough. You know, like what is unique because it's you. If you're not trying to fit into a mold, you know, if you can be that space that's everybody else's stuff, just, you don't have to actually take that on. You don't have to be limited by that. And there is, don't get caught up, think, and whether this is going to work or this is going to be a failure, because it's about actually choose something. If you just choose something else, you just keep giving things a go. But where is it that we all stopped being like we were when we would try things? Oh, that didn't get the result I wanted. I'll try this now.
No one turned up to that.
I fell over. Right, that's not the way I'm going to walk. I need to do something different. Like, because that those cognitive words, but the question of what else, you know, and what's required. Slow ourselves down so much that if we were just willing to be everything that we are, there is a speed with which we can operate. There is an ease that comes, even ability, that makes life joyful and gives you that energy. What you were saying before about wake up every day. Not doing every day.
and I think, Delany, that's where, you know, then you just get rid of that comparison-based identity. Like, you get rid of the comparisons, because it's not about me competing with anyone else in this space, or it's not about me comparing or wanting to be someone else. And look, I take advice from people all the time. People often give me a lot of advice in business, and I listen and I process it, and I kind of then, you know, midjify it and do all of that to it. And I don't know. I kind of, but it's my mold. You know, this business is my mold, and it's about what I'm creating. And so grateful to have, you know, business mentors and people that are helping me along the way. But yeah, in the end, it's about what I'm trying to do and what value I can bring and my way of doing it.
Wonderful. Please keep going.
Thank you, Delany. I will.
This has been a real delight, even with her on the video. But the audio will be good, so people can listen. And when I return to Australia near the end of time, let's get together another one and see where you're up to and what has changed, because that is the only constant.
That's right.
It's changed. Thank you so much, my dear.
Mwah.
I am going to hit the end button, if it will let me. Oh, it is. Thank you all, and I'll be